It away a bit. He carries him away.
I remember what was really fascinating about that being my first time experiencing that opera. And I remember the music alone was tragic. It wasn't like you knew Bugs wasn't dead.
Yeah.
But, because they even show him and he like winks at the audience or whatever, looks at you. But it was still sad. And that's kind of goes to show like the music itself. I don't think I can go out that way, can I?
I may be totally off track. I think that was Lohengrin?
I actually have it on LP. My parents actually had it. And I can never find it because I forget the name.
I thought that was... I could be totally off base and filling things in again. I could be just confabulating on this, but I thought that was what that opera was.
Yeah, whatever it is, though, it's fantastic. And I have it on LP, and I've listened to it a few times just on its own.
But every time.
Yeah, I know.
He reminds me of Clint Howard a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, like Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of looks like...
Yeah, kind of. Because he would probably play that bit role.
Oh, yeah.
Although I don't think that he really killed him that often, did he?
Not often, no.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of it being like a Ron Howard directs Resident Evil, and Clint Howard is the guy in the B rooms.
That's one of the things that I really hated about the movies was that they were action films, and I understand why they chose that, but I always thought that they could have been so good if they were like slow burns. Like a cheesy B slow burn with cool effects for the time. I don't know. I wouldn't want to make a Resident Evil movie.
It just seems like it's... I mean, I understand why things are done the way they're done. I get why a lot of it is done. Again, it's all a money game. You know, you're trying to, as a producer, you have a lot of say, and you get to tell people what to do with your money. And a lot of times, your choice is not right. You are not the artistic visionary. But then again, on the other side, you let someone have their way, and then they make fucking Geely, and you're like, I'll never financially recover from this. Fortune Exotic.
I actually don't know what Geely is.
Oh, Geely was a movie with Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, I believe. It was awful.
Stephen, let me just...
It is probably one of the worst review movies. It's just maybe a fraction above Troll 2.
Oh my gosh, really?
It's not good. It's probably one of the poorest reviewed movies of all time. But, as a producer, sometimes I feel like if it was my money, I wouldn't invest unless I trusted the person I was investing in. Like, if I was going to make a movie and I had options, I'd be like, sure, I'll give $30 million to Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
Just don't make Noah.
Yeah. Don't do that.
But again, that's the thing. It's like you don't know. Like a director can be genius 99.9% of the time, and the one time you give him a huge amount of money, it makes nothing.
Yeah, and I just don't understand why he ever would have made that. It always weirded me out. It didn't make sense.
That was, I think, the biggest budget he ever worked with, and I feel like he's one of those guys that works better on a smaller budget.
It makes me happy that he actually lost his budget for... I'm just putting these in the box. It lost his budget for The Fountain, because The Fountain is one of those movies that every time I watch it, I get a little more out of it, and it kind of hits me in a different way. And I could see why people hate that movie or don't enjoy it. Totally understand it.
He's definitely one of those directors where you absolutely love his work, or you absolutely hate it.
I've heard people go off on Mother so hard. And I get it.
Yep.
I liked it, though. I'm weird.
I'll tell you this. When I saw it in theaters.
Yes.
Because, again, I'm a big Aronofsky fan. I love his work. I walked out of the theater shaking. The last 20 minutes is so fucking intense. It's like... What?
The second time I watched it, I remember I was... watching it with a friend online, so he was watching it on the other side, in his own home. And I just remember I got to the point, the last 20 minutes it started, and I just kind of sat on the end of my bed looking down like, I don't want to do this. I genuinely had horror and dread.
It was an emotional gut punch. Yeah. It was nuts.
And I could see, it's kind of like, for me, watching movies with home invasion where you're held hostage and tortured, what's Funny Games, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I hate those movies. Those make me so angry. No, because they're effective at making me... They're playing on my fears, which is home invasion and being tied up and being powerless.
What is it, the Strangers?
Strangers, yeah. I think Strangers.
Yeah. And like one of the biggest moments of that whole movie, one of my favorite moments, and I just absolutely love it, is they ask him, why us? You were home. And it's like, oh, Jesus. They didn't need any more motivation than that. They were going to kill somebody tonight. And it didn't matter who. No specific reason that it's you. You were home.
Yep.
And I love that. Like, it's so chilling.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Very, very effective.
Let's see. I feel silly because I realize I made a mistake.
I know there's so many genres of horror out there. There are so many different ways of doing
wrong
things.
Way.
I think my primary favorites are...
this was the right way. What's wrong with you, Steve?
Fine. You're getting there. Back in the elevator.
Go ahead. What? I'm listening.
One moment. Hiccups. Anyway, I really enjoy like the poltergeist or possession movies.
Oh yeah,
because they freak me out the worst.
So poltergeist scares you.
Like the idea of something that
really?
You don't like. The first two Paranormal Activities.
Oh, I do agree.
Like the idea of doors slowly opening and closing on their own. The idea of something behind you and you never see it. Mm-hmm. Like, that plays into my deepest fear. And that and Possession. Possession is the other huge one. Like, you watch, like, slashers. And you're like, okay, well, Michael Myers is after you. Or Jason Voorhees. Or Freddy Krueger. Or any of these supernatural fucking monster men. And it's like... First off, you know, they're targeting very specific groups. Mm-hmm. And second off, it's like, I got a gun, I got this, it's fine. With Possession, how do you stop Possession?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. When
something wants to take you over, it's gonna.
Yeah.
Like, if there's that, like, and I mean, it's a matter, I guess, of willpower and things to sort of prevent it. But, you know, the idea, like The Exorcist, the first time I saw it, like, I was scared, but I was also just in awe.
Yeah.
Of the way it was done. It was just so brilliantly put together. Mm-hmm. And it was such a scary story. And I had so much respect for that the first time I ever got... my mother tells this story every once in a while, and I love it. Her and her sister went to see The Exorcist at a drive-in. That was their first experience with it. Mm-hmm. And my aunt, her sister... has sort of a skin condition, like hives, where if you scratch her skin, it'll leave a big red mark up where it happened. Like, it doesn't hurt or anything, but her skin just kind of reacts to that. Mm-hmm. So if you scratch along a certain part, all of a sudden, kind of a red welt will rise up. Mm-hmm. So she lifted her shirt and wrote, "Help me," across her stomach. And then they drove out with that. And the guy at the counter was just like... And I love the idea that they pulled something like that. It's such a funny prank, and it's so scary. It's like, way to play to your strengths. I love that. Oh, hey, werewolf.
Yeah, I am trying to run a different way because I knew there was a couple hunters, and I didn't want to risk it.
Is that what those are? Hunters?
Yeah. So, you guys are still here. Oh, you guys are still in the hall where I left you. You didn't jump out the broken windows?
The old China Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this game could benefit from milk bones.
Milk bones?
Yeah. Like, you wander into a hallway like that where the dogs are, and you're just like, go away. You scatter a couple of milk bones, and they're like, forget blood. I got milk bone.
Okay, sorry. My brain was thinking like it was something more than just being a milk bone.
No. Yeah, like a dog treat.
A literal... milk bones, dude.
Yeah, like the doggy treat. That'd be kind of funny, you know. You run into a hallway and there's the dogs, and you're like, "Who's a good boy?" And you throw a little kibble, and they run away, and they're like, "Never mind you, I want that."
There's a handwritten. I'm gonna read this one.
No, let me.
Okay.
Nothing's changed. I never thought that this room I designed as an experiment would pay off like this. I can hide here safely for a while, because nobody knows about the secret behind this painting. Not even Suspensa. Painting of a mansion in the back of the art room. I got you, boo.
Let's see.
If you do want to read some more, go ahead. But I'm happy to do some reading.
Yeah, actually, you know, I figure I've been playing, so.
Yeah, no, and I'm. This is very comfortable for me, being able to sit back and watch somebody else play a game for a while.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
It's wonderful. And also, sorry, the room's getting a little toasty.
Ah. Well, I think we could afford to crack the window ahead.
Yeah, we'll crack it.
Here, I'll take care of it.
Here, wait, you want me to do it? Because those plants are all complicated.
I'll be very gentle. I'm just going to crack it a hair. Is it locked?
Yeah, I think so. I think up is unlocked. Careful down. There you go.
There you go. That's it. We're done.
Yes.
I just don't want to smack myself on the microphone again.
No.
I was getting up to use the restroom and I kind of bonked it. I was like, ah! It was almost like a comical filmed moment of somebody running into something. I felt very, very Mr. Bean, sans the talent.
Sans the talent, yeah, right.
Oh my!
I mean, don't get me wrong. Rowan Atkinson is. I love him
genius.
so much. Yeah, I'm sad that I don't see more of him lately. But I literally mentioned him on Saturday to my brother, and I'm like, it's kind of a bummer that you don't really hear about him anymore.
Yeah,
like he's kind of obviously to people that know
Johnny
him.
English.
Oh man, those movies.
They were silly, but they were fun.
That's the formula I hate.
Really?
That's the formula that I hate. Like the example would be, Archer succeeds at making that formula, where he's actually a good spy. He can actually accomplish his goals, but he's stupid and makes dumb mistakes, but he has to then recover and try harder from it. Versus, I feel like there's just something about the way that they do Johnny English where I just hate the main character the whole time.
Sure.
And it's just a weird thing for me where I just get really frustrated watching it. I wonder if I think there's a hunter in here.
If you're listening, Rowan Atkinson, please write and tell... No.
Well,
the odds are astronomical.
It's not his fault, because he's hilarious.
No, he's very funny. And, sometimes, like the great Jeremy Irons, you take a movie because you just bought a castle.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy Irons did do that.
Yes, he did. And I love it. That was one of my favorite things. And it's... Ooh, beg your pardon. Again, a very controversial opinion. I love the D&D movie.
Oh, you know what's funny? I'm trying to think that I've seen it once, and I remember kind of enjoying it as a kid. I've never gone back to it.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's very cheesy, but Jeremy Irons is such a powerhouse. And it's Marlon Wayans. And
yeah. I remember because wait, spoiler alert, because that scene made me really sad.
What?
The spoiler alert. I don't want to ruin it for people if they haven't seen this movie, because this might be the first time they've ever heard of it.
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert.
I don't want to ruin it.
And honestly, it might start getting some more attention because I hear they're doing another one. They're actually really getting ready to do a very serious Dungeons and Dragons movie. And,
with Tom Hanks? No.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be amazing. Tom Hanks is the bard. No, Justin Whalen. He was like...
Justin Whalen.
He was all over the place.
Wayans. Why did I say Whalen?
Wait. No, that's his name. Justin Whalen.
Oh, okay.
He was the white guy. He was Ridley.
But who?
The main character. He was all over the place in the 90s. And all of a sudden, he just kind of dried up. Like he was one of those it guys that just went away. And then yeah, the other gentleman was Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
Who was just hysterical in that movie.
So it was the last name for the main guy was
Wayland, yeah.
And then Wayans, obviously.
Yeah. From the Wayans acting dynasty.
Yeah, that's
from
seriously.
Damon Wayans. Yeah. No.
I
there's
thought
so many.
So this is funny. I was thinking about this the other day. Scary Movie 1 and 2 have moments I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. But then David Zucker takes over and does 3 and 4. And I don't like those ones.
I agree. I like 1 and 2 the best.
It's so weird because you think that David Zucker would be really well suited to do this genre. I don't know what it is about it, and it's funny because it even has Leslie Nielsen in it too.
Sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Just, somebody takes something that it sounds like they'd be great at and they don't do well at it.
Oh, okay, it's already against the wall.
It happens. This room always makes me think of...
Get down! How do I get down?
stuck on a table.
I don't know what to do.
What? Gosh, what am I thinking of? My brain just did a little backflip there. Blade Runner.
Oh,
Room
yeah.
always makes me think of Blade Runner.
Oh.
With the owl.
Oh, I can kind of see that.
Just a kind of a weird little thing there with that one. But
Did it just freeze? Oh, I thought it froze.
game over.
Oh, so I can't. You're not gonna let me grab the grenades that are right there? Okay, whatever. I didn't need them. I get it. Oh my gosh.
Children.
All right.
Wow, they had a lot more people in this movie than I remember.
I'll have to rewatch it just for the sake.
You know what? I own it on DVD. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it. Again, it's like it gets so much shit, and I get it. I mean, it's not the greatest movie that's ever been made, but it was really good for what it was. And then they made they made a follow-up. They made like the Book of Dark Shadows, which was hokier than shit. Like.
Critics praised it.
Yeah, critics loved it. 2 thumbs up, says Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah. And also, video games are not art.
They're evil.
I love how he tried to undo that with Campbell's Soup as art. I'm like, also, yes, it does. And screw you. Like, first of all, stop insulting Campbell's Soup.
Where's my comb, says Gene Shalit.
And that's it was such a bitch way to like back out of saying you were wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you know what? Just admit you're wrong. If you're,
I feel like movie critic is a hell of a job.
oh,
It's like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Here's the thing. It's like, what I work in sales, and that's the things that are sold are very subjective.
Mm-hmm.
You are delivering your opinion, and granted, you have studied this stuff. You understand what makes a good movie versus what should make a bad movie. You know technically what is correct. But this is art. This isn't engineering. You're not building a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And while some of the things you know definitely are pointers to whether something should be good or bad,
mm-hmm.
not all of it is. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it subjectively. There's points where it's like, well, I watched this because it has a good memory associated with it. It's a feel-good movie. It resonates with me for one reason or another. And I think that makes it very difficult to be a film critic.
Yeah. I think it just always annoyed me with that because it just seems so freaking arrogant of, I don't know. Obviously it's exactly what we're talking about, but
You're fine.
I never really had anything against them. I think what they did was cool. In a lot of ways, like they.
Absolutely. I mean, it would almost be my dream job.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to watch movies and tell people how I felt about them all the time. That would be genius. But my opinion is not the last word in things.
Mm-hmm.
I have some very Nevada piece. I have some very controversial opinions on movies. And I mean, there's some really divisive movies out there. Stuff that, one person says is literally the end of art, and one person says is just a piece of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it's super, super subjective. It's a hard thing to be like, well, this movie is wrong for this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Actually, like, stopping and thinking about it for a moment, like,
Oh, hi, buddy.
being that kind of, that source to sit down and be like me sitting down and being like, this is why I thought Frozen should have lost to The Wind Rises.
I do recall.
Yeah. The only thing that annoys me is, don't get me wrong, Frozen is fantastic, but I do think that The Wind Rises is like, when all people always do like entertainment versus art.
Yeah.
I don't like that because it's very arrogant to try and assume that you know when something, like, where's that line?
Yeah.
Like,
When
Kung
it's
Fu
awesome.
Panda, is that just entertainment? If it changed your life, like, I used to watch it all the time and think it was so much fun. And, you can watch a terrible movie like Troll 2 and love it so much and realize, like, how much effort, effort should not equal, like, what it is. Like, what was it I was thinking of? The movie, The Revenant? No, what's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Revenant.
Okay.
Yeah. Where he's Hugh Glass.
Yeah, and he the bear.
Yeah, he gets shot and he has to.
Yeah.
He gets molested by the bear.
I didn't say that.
I know you didn't.
No,
But it was
I love it.
It was the it joke at the time. It was very funny.
I like it.
But yeah, no, what a wonderful movie that was.
And what I was saying was that I thought it was interesting that he got the Academy Award.
It's like, thank you, stop me, because otherwise I'm just going to tear off in another direction.
Well, no, it's just annoying that it's like, I felt like that wouldn't have been my choice to give him the Academy Award.
Oh, mine either.
But
he did so many other amazing projects, but when you look back, the things that did win the Academy Awards, you're like, oh,
yeah, that is
okay.
very fair.
It's just, he made an amazing movie in a year where a genius movie was made.
Yeah.
And it was just unlucky. You know, if he had made it in the year that, you know, some of the lesser knows or things, okay.
Hold on.
Carlson.
Can't